Poppy makes an edible snow globe. Hey there, and welcome, or maybe even welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share an experiment with you. Over the years I've seen all of these awesome edible snow globes, meaning it was a cupcake with some sort of edible dome on top. And since my brother loves snow globes and my cupcakes, I thought I would give it a go myself. For the dome I'm using gelatin sheets, small balloons or water balloons, a whisk, aroma, skewers, and something like a cupcake holder to place the skewers in. For the cake I'm using a red velvet box cake. It includes a topping, a cupcake mold, cupcake wrappers, and a whisk or a hand mixer. And as a cupcake topper, I am making my own Christmas chocolates. And for that I'm using milk chocolate, white chocolate. You could also use a dark chocolate or maybe some candy melts, and a chocolate mold with Christmas figurines. So I'm starting with the domes because in my research and in a small test prior, I've come to learn the domes need at least a full day in a dry place to dry. I'm using 12 gelatin sheets and let them soak for about 5 minutes. I've chosen sheets because I've learned these make the best and the strongest domes. But if you're a vegan, you could also try an experiment with agar-agar, which is a gelatin made from seaweed. In the meantime, I'm blowing up the balloons with a small balloon pump. I've made way more than I needed because I intend to make way more domes than I need. Then I tape the balloons to the skewers, not to the sharp side, of course. Once the gelatin sheets have soaked for about 5 minutes, I add them to a saucepan with 125 milliliters of water and a few drops of aroma. In my case, some cookie aroma. I let them completely dissolve. Once the gelatin sheets have completely dissolved, you can dip in those balloons. I gave some a thin layer and some a thicker layer. Just try and experiment a bit. Don't be afraid to give it some extra heat if the mixture becomes thick again. I afterwards read that it might be a good idea to cover the balloons in some oil. I would have used coconut oil, hence the soft smell and taste, so feel free to experiment a bit with or without oil, thin, thick, and let them dry in a dry place for a day or even longer. So it's about a day and a half later, and as I said before, I am making my own chocolate figurines. So I mostly want to make the snowman, the tree, all those kind of figurines. So I will fill them with the chocolate first, but first I need to melt the chocolate. You can do this in a double boiler or in a microwave with about 30-second intervals. Be careful not to burn the chocolate and yourself, of course. Use a spoon to divide the chocolate over the mold, and use a skewer to get the chocolate in every little corner. And why not mix the chocolate a bit, putting both the milk and the white chocolate in one mold. Then, after the mold has been filled completely, except for one, then set aside for a few hours to harden. While the chocolates are set aside to harden, you can start on the cakes. Use any red velvet box cake or recipe you like. Don't forget to check what ingredients you'll need. I am adding some eggs and cream to the mixture and mix for about 3 minutes till nice and smooth. I divide the batter over a lined cupcake mold and bake them in the oven. Bake the cupcakes as you would do normally or as the instructions on the box say. Let the cupcakes cool down completely before decorating. So while everything is cooling and setting, it was time to start on the topping. I've made a cream cheese topping with a topping that came with the box cake.
Weeks later.
Once the chocolate has hardened, carefully pop them out of the mold and put in a cookie jar or something till you need them again.
Months later.
And then the time came to start popping the balloons. I knew before I started popping they were not all gonna turn out the way I wanted to, but nevertheless I was really curious if I could get a dome at all, and started popping the balloons and carefully peeling off the gelatin domes. My conclusion on this was you'll need to dip the balloon good into the gelatin to create a thin layer, and by thin I mean under half a centimeter. You might want to try and use oil, because even though those thin ones were my best ones, it was quite hard to peel them off of the balloon, and in the process I broke more than I was hoping on. But I still was able to have 5 decorated cupcakes instead of the 6 I was hoping for.
1,000 years later.
I filled a piping bag with a big star tip nozzle with the cream cheese topping and started piping it onto the cupcakes. And this is totally optional though, and not necessary, but I filled a small bowl with coconut flakes and dunked the cupcakes into the flakes to give it a snowy effect. Then take a chocolate and place them onto the cupcakes. If necessary, you can use a skewer or a small toothpick to keep them in place. And then of course, the last step was to carefully place the dome over the cupcake. And there you have it. I've made an edible snow globe.
Bad puns later.
So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and me testing out making an edible snow globe. Have fun, and I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. For more ideas and free printables, please visit my blog puppymakesdiy.blogspot.com. If you have any ideas or requests on what I should make or bake next time, please let me know in the comments down below. Also, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest. Click here to watch any of my other videos or to subscribe to my channel so you'll never miss a thing. Thanks for watching and see you next time!